Well, that was an interesting death segment, just all the way through. Not too shabby, but yes, we will actually get to the game at hand. It is clg-gambit. Finally, after a little bit of a delay, both teams trying to avoid elimination. Obviously, CLG the last remaining, well, the only actually NA team that was actually at this event.
The whole tournament they've been the
They've
last
been,
remaining
they've been the
hope.
final bastion, haven't they?
Yeah, well, it's a bit like you as well on the desk. You're sort of like flying the flag for NA.
Yeah.
And are you going to be flying it here? Do you think they can pull this off? 9-0 for Gambit on Cobblestone. They look decent on it, but not against this same sort of opposition.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, I don't think CLG really has a great chance in this one. It's going to take some Herculean individual performance. I think, and I think the Deaths actually pretty much nailed it. I think Ethan's been quiet, all things considered, this event. If there won any chance, he definitely has. One of like Ethan or Ricky has to have a really good game next to Kusta, who we're also just assuming that he's going to have a good game because he's been consistent with it this event these past months. So even that's not guaranteed. So I mean, just so many question marks, so many ifs for CLG to have a chance in this game.
Yeah, I think obviously when we look to sort of the rest of the team, you talk about Cutler, who's been relatively consistent so far, which is what we want to see from him. But yeah, it's sort of those star players. I think Ethan was all right on train. Obviously, you can't really judge too much from that game because it was against Astralis.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a difficult just game in general. But then in the games following up from that, sort of versus Hellraisers, you sort of think, okay, really then that's the match you want to see them sharp and show, okay, maybe we're here to challenge, whereas you sort of think, okay, if they couldn't beat Hellraisers, now they've got to beat Gambit on the one map where they are very, very scary.
They're unreal, aren't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, CLG obviously going for comfort instead of banning away from their opponent's strength. So they just said, we don't care what map it's on, obviously. We just want to be on a map that we're comfortable with. So taking that route, we'll see how it pans out for them. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you mentioned that Hellraisers game because there just can't be another start to a match like that, right? I mean, they gave themselves, like, you could see the second half. They had a second half plan that was effective, but just no opportunity to get back into the game. It was a 14-1 half, so obviously starting that slow, you're not going to win a whole lot of games.
Yeah, we are going to be making our way in shortly. Obviously, Gambit looking to try and keep themselves alive, go into that sort of 2-2 segment, which will, I think, be played at the end of the day. We will continue to make sure that we get to the quarterfinals. So it is going to be a long day. This is only match number 2. It is going to be, obviously, the homeboy of Zeus looking to try and face off against NA, and a little bit of Oz in there as well.
Yeah, and he's been a good addition, Ricky has, to the CLG team. At least from what we've seen coming into this event online, he's almost been like a breath of fresh air. Just another dynamic piece of, just a power, an impact player essentially that they have, and you haven't seen it too much. And look at this aggression over in A halls. That's Cutler. He's just going to spot things out, and he's going to bail out very, very quickly. Heavy lean for CLG towards the B bomb site to start this pistol round. Cutler continues to be pressure and continues to give ground as well. Ethan playing in the doors, he can get flushed out. He can get forced back into the choke point very, very easily if this hit continues.
And the T side already. We've seen this from them previously as well. Dosia just being set up over towards those A-halls. It's a position he loves to play, and he was an absolute pain. I think it was versus Tai Lu, where he was just able to get into so many nooks and crannies and make things very, very difficult for this CT team.
That's one of the things you hope, CLG picking this map. You have to assume that they've done their research, considering this is one of Gambit's best. So if they notice that being a trend, there are ways, obviously, you can neutralize that. Maybe you take advantage of it and clear him out in the mid-rounds. But at the moment, he's still camped out. The bomb is over there towards A as well, but there's a lot of pressure towards B. That smoke is going to delay things a little bit longer. Gambit making their presence known are going to boost back up. So trying to be a little bit confusing, disguising their tactic, and CLG, they're starting to lean towards middle, towards this B bomb site, and that's going to be dangerous.
I like that. Just having the sort of sound cues that are just basically there to just wind up your opposition, get them thinking about where you could possibly be, and they're just going to fall back, go for this A hit. It's Cutler on the side itself, trying to hold at the moment. 25 seconds left on the clock, so the T's do have to get their running shoes on, and actually missed shots does mean that Cutler and Finesse are able to do quite a bit of damage. The bomb has, however, crossed onto the site, and it's going to be onto Mo, trying to just isolate them over towards this suicide hole, but it's not working out at the moment. Dosia able to bring one back, leaving it into a 2 versus 2, as they are looking to try and get back into the site. They've got themselves the kit on Finesse, so they just need to start connecting these shots. And there's one for Ricky. It's all onto Dosia. Third kill for him, looking for Finesse, trying to find this final kills, goes wide and gets it as well.
Nice pistol round from Gambit. I mean, they were under some pressure, some very good shots from CLG into that one-on-one. Dojo, though, an advantage in that one-on-one. Not only can he see the shadow, but obviously Finesse had the kit, so the aim punch is a difficult thing. And I mean, that tactic did exactly what it was designed to do. It just made them lean away from the bomb site. If there's, I mean, imagine if Cutler stays in the bomb site. There's much wider angle of danger for Gambit as they hit that bomb site. There's so many different spots they have to check. Their attention is going to be drawn so far away. The fact that they made their presence known in drop and then boosted back up means they only really had to look at the left side of that APC.
Ricky up close, but Hobbit jumping into the angle will decimate him. Double scout actually coming in for this CT side. Kusta buying absolutely nothing, so saving to get that AWP as soon as possible. Now, there was mentioned on the desk the potential for a double AWP, but a lot of people haven't been bringing it in, especially on Cobble.
Yeah, very, very difficult to retake, and definitely on this map, if you don't get there in time, everything's just going to be smoked off. So, it can be a dangerous and expensive tactic, which, I mean, the double scout as well. If you're going to invest in a double scout, you need to hit these shots. You need to do something to get the damage down, and so far not happening again. The A defenders playing close to the connector. Adren pressuring this drop. Finesse. Counter flashes from a teammate's going to help him out, but still, he needs to hit something incredible here. And there it is. Headshot onto Adren. He falls. It's a 4-on-4. Cutler now, his chance with the scout as Gambit makes their way through stables towards the A bomb site. He's going to peek out wide, and he's not ready for Hobbit to be there. That's a long-range MAC-10. Drops Cutler immediately. The site is lost, and doesn't look like there's going to be much chance for CLG to get back into this round.
And, well, you have to wonder if it's worth just keeping the minute amount that they have to try and do the same amount of damage into the next round. Obviously, Hobbit did get a little bit low, but realistically, they've kept the majority of the weaponry they wanted. And in fact, we're actually going to see Zeus still pushing back in with that SMG. Not a huge amount to lose, and plenty of money that can be gained, of course, $600 per kill. He is going to spot out Ethan, at least, doing damage to both players, but is getting a little bit low himself, so not going to be over-facing, just trying to catch them out, and he does get one, making that money. Kusta with absolutely nothing to play with, but only needs to connect one bullet, but he's got Mo to support as they are just cleaning up these remaining players. Finesse with the scout is just going to wait over towards Plat, and he will at least keep that into the next round.
Nice play from Zeus, getting one kill, baiting Kusta into a peek. That's dropped by Mo, so the armor and the P250 taken away from Ethan, and yeah, it's just that scout they're able to bring forward. We saw, I mean, it was a nice shot from Finesse onto Adren, but outside of that, the scouts didn't really have too much impact. This is back to that pistol round. The great performance from Doja. 4 kills for him in the round, including the clutch. Getting them off, getting them started on the right foot. So 2-0 CLG. The question is, where does Finesse go with this scout? He's got a smoke as well. And it looks like he's going to be the only one at the B bomb site, and he is about to just get overrun. Hobbit already out with the MAC-10, and Finesse, I don't even think he's aware. There's one at connector as well, but he doesn't even take a shot. Mo finds him. The aim punch prevents Finesse from feeling comfortable whatsoever. And now on a money-making mission, Zeus with the SMG just looking for kills.
Yeah, and realistically, there isn't much to be gained from the CT side. They don't want to just be handing this money over to their opponents, so you can see they're sort of just trying to play in a bit of a crossfire. They will get one kill to actually end the life of Zeus and more Hobbit. It doesn't really matter too much if he goes down. That is a little bit of extra money, maybe an extra smoke that can come in for the CT side, and even that UMP could be utilized in the next round, maybe over towards drop, along with a lot of utility.
Yeah, the big thing is just the denial of the bonus money, the denial of that extra $600. Zeus only gets one kill, Hobbit gets nothing, so that's nice. And it looks like even Adren maybe even considering saving his scout into the next round. Be interesting. There's Mo coming up. This is a Galil he would lose, and he is going to lose it. So Ricky gets the bonus money. That's nice. So a little bit of a silver lining in that round for the CLG guys, dropping the first 3 after the pistol.
Yeah, of course. Plenty of money already made from the tees in the previous couple, so they are going to comfortably buy back up, and if anything, maybe losing those extra SMGs will just take away the risk factor of the bonus round. A lot of teams would be throwing that in anyway, just to try and make more money and do as much damage as they can. Instead, well, they keep the scout, but other than that, it's pretty standard stuff, and well, already Kusto goes to the peak with the AWP. He's down to 44 health.
No success with it, but he's sticking around behind the smoke and the choke point over at A long. Pretty centralized defense for CLG on the B bomb site. No one really in chicken coop, no one towards the end of B platform, all playing right around the site, so that way they can wheel around and protect drop as well if it comes into play. Kusa's going to get tested. He's got a setup with Cutler, and he's about to be smoked off, so Cutler is isolated. Blind shot from Kusa into the smoke, gains nothing. There's Cutler, but he can't land it. Doja checks it at the last second, and Cutler just seemed to hesitate for a half a second, and that's all it takes.
The way that the CT side are playing at the moment does limit them quite heavily to actual information, so they don't really know, other than the pick that just came in, that there's a couple of players, and the bomb in the meantime is actually going to go rotating back around, and you can see the sort of gamble that's coming in from CLG, looking like they're going to go for a boost to try and find out at least a little bit of information over towards drop. Looking like they have actually changed their mind and just making their way back over towards that B side. Once again, we can see the T's, they've set Dosia up. He's just going to be sat over towards that A side, that lurk player just being the pain in their side, and with 25 seconds left on the clock, it is going to be a B hit, and there's currently only 2 players here. Ethan holding the cross will get the first, does the damage to at least bring it back to a 4 versus 4. They've got little utility to play with, but he's still doing quite a bit of damage, and in fact, Ricky is going to get one more. The T's, they have to make their move, but there we go. Hobbit with 1. There's seconds left on the clock. They really do have to get themselves onto the site, and there's a good chance for the bomb to actually be denied. In fact, it's not even going to be getting onto the site. That's it. The round is done, just based on that alone, and Kusta's going to run away.
Yeah, Gambit taking way, way too long, not being aggressive enough, and I mean, that was the big thing. Ethan, he only gets the 1 kill, does some damage, but he stalls. He stays alive as long as possible, and Gambit just never felt safe to get into the bomb site. A little bit curious, they didn't want to be more aggressive, but they do get 4 kills. That's nice, and also it's also the danger of like the very, very hard reset if they can respond in this round. So all is not lost just yet. Kusa does have his AWP, but a good chance here for Gambit to really just crush any chance CLG has to a strong start. 3 UMPs on the defensive side of things. Kusta, again, this is the 2nd round in a row. He's going to be pushed up towards A Hulls, playing at the off angle. Cutler's going to be here to support with the UMP close up. Very tight angle, though, for Kusta.
Pop Flash going to go out, leave him completely blind, and they are going to push on to Cutler. It's a quick trade. Kusta, if he can get this back, then maybe he can escape, but he's going to have to throw out the Molotov, just try and duck back down. He does spot the feet, so they do have the knowledge, and actually he will take down 1, but it's, again, just a straight trade. That's absolutely fine for the T side, and in the meantime, they do have a little bit of a push coming out from Finesse, but he may walk straight into Agent's crosshair, and well, doesn't manage to get the shots initially, but they will take that man advantage, and now he's just going to go running towards that B site.
Yeah, CLG couldn't afford that kind of a risk from Finesse. I mean, they were trying to kind of shore up the holes in the defense, and at the same time, Finesse just creates another one by that push. Adren watching right for it. Now Ethan feels like he has to be aggressive. He has to find out some kind of information. He could just walk right into their arms. The Molotov is out slowing him down, but this is split. It's got to be impressive individual performances from these 2 players. There's Ricky spotting 1. He's going to go for the fight. That flashbang misses its mark, so he doesn't peek with it. So he's got to fall back to the side. It's going to be a 3-on-1 here, and Ethan's flanking. He's not rotating. It's got to be quick. He's got to get on his horse now. Ricky's got to delay as long as possible. There's the first kill. That's a nice start to bring it into a 2-on-2.
Even if he just gets 1 more, this could give his teammate a great opportunity. The flank is still making its way forward. He's buying a lot of time. A fake plant is going to come in, but he doesn't get anything. Does some damage at least, and now actually there is time for Ethan to get back in. The bomb will be planted with 10 seconds left, and he gets the first. Now going for the second as well. Hobbit round the corner, but holds the angle, wins it for his team, and now money problems really are going to be coming in for that CT side.
Yeah, great mobility from Hobbit there, changing up his position after the bomb plant. Ethan had no idea it was going to be that quick, and Ricky, I mean, a good idea, trying to just stop the plant, trying to just win by time again, just delay as long as possible, but he gets stuck committing to that fight, thought he had the advantage and just doesn't land the shots. CLG, they suffered a lot of early losses, a lot of early trades that round, but still managed to claw their way back into it, only to lose right at the end. And now because of the double save, you can see the force up. 2 MAC-10s on the board for Adren and Hobbit, and it looks like Zeus is sticking on the Glock. So actually, I mean, all things considered, it's the ideal situation for CLG, I guess.
If they could actually pull this off, the buy on the other side, you exclude the AWP, and this is a very, very risky round that Gambit currently going for, playing with fire a little bit.
Especially considering the stack that CLG have toward this B bomb site. Nice pop flash, and actually Hobbit wins it anyways. Kusa does eventually clean him out, but now comes the pressure on a B platform.
Yeah, it's just going to be this fast, aggressive play as well. Adrian looking for more with the Mac 10. Actually runs out now. He's using the Glock as well, but he will go down. Kusta still just doing damage with this CZ. Now Zeus, well, he manages to pick up a weapon himself, and there's the double, bringing this round in for his team. It's all onto Cutler. Does manage to do a little bit more damage, at least taking down one, but can't finish off onto Dosia. And even with this sort of risky buy, they keep the AWP, they keep a UMP, and really all they've lost is the Mac 10s.
Yeah, a little bit expensive, but I mean, no big deal just because CLG has to save again now after that investment. So Kusta in the next round will have the AWP as the losing bonus builds up. He's got 35 or 3,600 right now, so he'll be all right. But we have to say, I mean, even his presence over in those A hulls, the first 2 rounds he's had the AWP, haven't had a whole lot of success. Traded out both times. So 5-1 for Gambit. Now they have 3 rifles and an IWP in a round where CLG doesn't even have any armor. It's just going to be a 5-man walk towards this B bomb site.
We're going to beat 3 players actually up close for the CTs. Just looking to try and combine onto one of these players, maybe get themselves a rifle. That would be the best case, but actually Nathan's going to be getting himself the first kill. This crossfire actually doing quite a bit of damage to start at least, but Dosia able to restore a bit of normality. But look at their HP. Hobbit low as well, so still at least making things costly. One more kill and they're really not making money in this round. So it could be perfect, but no, Mo will finish things off. Again, just keeping things safe, and that is still a 6-1 scoreline at the moment for Gambit.
Yeah, 2 good stocks, though, by CLG, giving themselves at least the best chance possible to win these rounds, not coming out with it. They get the initial kill again, and it just, you know, it all turns around. Doja with his UMP solving a lot of issues through the smoke, Finesse being aggressive. Even then, it was very, very difficult. But Doja's bailed Gambit out of a couple tight spots here. Up in Kusta's hands, he's got armor and a smoke behind it, and then the 4 M4s as well for CLG. Down 1-6. Remember, when we saw them previously, I think Yanko mentioned on the desk against 5-Power on this map, it was a very, very strong CT side from CLG. Different quality of opponent, obviously, but this CT side is looking grim.
SG in play. Are you a fan?
We've been seeing these get used more and more often, right? I think it's ever since Magisk had that one game on Mirage where he just destroyed everyone with it. Everyone's like, all right, well, why not give it a shot?
Going to be looking to sneak in. The AWP of Kusta is going to be on the other side. Now, utility really is a problem in this round for CLG. They are getting down to bare scraps. A couple of smokes will be able to slow down a couple of pushes. Hobbit goes aggressive, though, and that will actually give them the man advantage early on. There is going to be an attempted trade from Zeus, but he's a little bit too late to the party. Ethan is just going to be waiting in the corner. Now, this position can be great for at least refragging when getting back in. And now we even see Dosia, normally the luck player, he's going to be rotating back in. So the likelihood is they are going to hit over towards this B site.
Question is Zeus the one to initiate the action, or is he just going to lurk out drop once they hit platform? Here comes some of the nades. Ethan's going to be in a tough spot. Got to decide where he wants to peek. Will be surrounded when this hit comes in at both angles. Zeus biding his time. You can see he's considering the fact that Ethan is there. There's 1 kill. Now he knows it. There's a 2nd kill for Ethan. Zeus could just do nothing. He finally finds one. Kusta's alive still in Chicken Coop with the AWP, but it's Zeus in a 1-on-3. Kusta misses the shot. 15 seconds left. There's no escape for Zeus. They have him out in the open. That's one's going to be easy for Kusta. So CLG, again, get on the board, surviving with 3 players alive this time.
Yeah, and Ethan actually doing very, very well in that scenario, not to get traded out. As you said, Zeus was kind of in a spot where if he peeks out of drop, he should have gone down to one of the teammates of Ethan anyway, but it just left the other 2 to have to try and face him directly, and he wins both. So decent round coming out. They're back on the board once again. Now, money shouldn't be a problem yet, at least, but actually...
There's a double off setup.
Well, no, I'm looking more at the T side. Dosia's on a Tech 9, even after winning that many rounds in a row.
Obviously some damage. I mean, they did take some losses in some of those rounds. Kusta with the up misses the chance for the first shot, survives on the second, drops the Molotov. That's going to go right through it, and he misses that. Doja's on the other side of the fire, and he takes out Kusta. Now he's got an AWP, but Cutler's still here. He gets traded as well into a 3-on-3, and Doja continuing to have a massive impact. Picking up that AWP, cutting off the rotations. Ethan has got to be a hero. But he's smoked out, he's Molotoved out. This is what we talk about. So difficult if the rotations don't come in time. These choke points on Cobble are so difficult to get through.
They're even going to buy a little bit more time with an extra smoke thrown in. Dosia, well, I questioned him not having a buy, and he has delivered in this round already. There's going to be Ethan just trying to play the angles, but it will be just Dosia holding again down the bottom with that AWP. Not actually going to spot him yet, but finds the kill eventually. And now Ricky with the AWP. There's not really much chance for him to actually get back into this round. So he'll just fall back, save this weapon. The money is going to be hurting once again, though, as it's another one-and-done round for CLG.
Yeah, this is what we're going to look back on if CLG don't end up coming back in this. We'll look back on this game and just say, look at the CT side. They got reset twice in 2 different. That's so brutal to deal with on the defensive side of things. We'll also say Doja in this game has been a beast. Pissed around with the 4 kills and the clutch. This time with a Tech 9, getting 3 kills, salvaging it up, and just closing out the round. He's been phenomenal.
It does go down in the end, so it will have to be a rebuy of the AWP if they want one, but he was just trying to get the AWP, the Catalyst Orb, out of the hands of Ricky. I wonder how much of an investment they're going to go into this round with. Obviously, we've seen them do quite a bit with the pistols. They are, in fact, calling in a tactical pause, however, and I feel like it's necessary. Things have not looked good so far.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea at all, because basically what you're going to talk about here at this point is, okay, we have 1 op to work with, so you'll call a quick play for that 1 AWP just to see if Kusa can get aggressive, find you a kill or 2, maybe pull off a miracle. Other than that, it's what are we doing moving into the gun rounds? How are we going to fix the issues we're having? We need to be able to find a way to string rounds together. At the moment, I mean, unfortunately, this is also what they mentioned on the desk. Goose has had a great tournament up until now, but he's missed some shots here. He's missed some of those opening kills. We've seen him at A Halls not have great success. We saw him now in mid, missed that first shot, allowed Doja an opportunity to get the AWP. His defenses, they're just collapsing a little bit too fast for CLG to rotate to cover it.
We are going to see that AWP heading over towards the B site. Decent amount invested as well for this CT side, looking like they're trying to go for this round. Kusta is already going to be down, though. Very fast play coming out from Hobbit. He seems almost too happy to play with this MAC-10, just going to be jumping, bouncing around towards this A site where Cutler is the last man to reside, and he will fall. Rotation is very, very quick, but they're just being picked off one by one. Ethan at least able to drop the bomb, slows them down a little bit, but once again, these nades are going to fall in. And he's just trying to get back into the side, but Angel will not let him. And Ricky has to sort of make this decision once more. He's in a 1 versus 3, has an AWP, and Adrian even going to come pushing onto him. At least he'll find that frag.
Looks like he's considering going for it. He does have a kit. It would have to be pretty quick.
Look at Hobbit as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance here. This is actually pretty risky from Gambit to just kind of evacuate like this. He might even go for the Ninja. Maybe he's just thinking... Chance of Zeus out in the open. If he had hit that, he probably wins the round, actually, oddly enough. But he's forced back. Now Hobbit's going to get a better angle, and actually Ricky's going to fall here if he's not prepared for this flank, because Gambit hunt him down. They do not want him to keep this up. They want to force this rebuy. They've been in complete economic control, and they get him.
Yeah, it works out in the end. It definitely could have bit them if they were unlucky. That one shot there would have been enough for, well, the thing is, he didn't know, so he may not have gone for it anyway. But
no, but if he gets that kill,
yeah,
he probably just runs into the site and just says, I'll stick it. Screw it. Whatever happens, happens. And then from that moment, I mean, obviously, I just think that's a very risky play from Hobbit in that kind of a scenario. But it works out for him in the end. They do get the op out of the hands as well, so even more dire situation when you can look at what kind of arsenal CLG is going to have in this round. Well, even in the next, yeah, they have to full save, essentially. Ricky's got the Zeus, though, so that's nice.
May be able to at least take something down, although there is spam coming through the door, and he's already getting tagged up by Dosia, who has been the star of the show so far, and even going to dunk him out. Style points for Dosia, making this game at the moment look far too easy. The rest of his team, as we've seen per usual, really, are going to be over towards the B site. He's still just playing that lurk role. We are going to see a little bit of a boost. This could be nice. Looking through the legs, Ethan set up with the Deeg. It's going to get flashed out initially, but goes for the re-peek, and Mo denies. Knowing there's a second player here, Kusta will at least get one. Doing some damage, but Dosia still just being a pain, holding the flank, and they'll keep 4 alive.
Yeah, CLG has no answer to Doja at the moment. He's just a force. This is looking clinical from Gambit. It's looking like they want to just get this one out of the way, move on to the tougher games later on. CLG backs against the wall. This is the buy where things have to start turning around for them. They need to get on the board. They need to string multiple together. They need to go on a run here to end this half and get them something going into the second half. This is looking like it could be a repeat of the Hellraisers game where they just have too abysmal of a first half to even have a chance in the second.
Well, it is starting to come about why teams have been banning Cobble
Yeah.
versus Gambit. They're looking very impressive so far. Nice start, though. Tag onto Mo. Won't quite be able to finish him off, but the Molotov is going to force them back. He's down to just 11 HP. This time it is actually the Ricky playing the AWP, so he actually buys it back up even after losing it in the previous round. Kusta hasn't really been hitting his shots, as you said, so clearly the switch-up has been decided.
Yeah, I mean, that's a luxury they have, that they can switch between, at one point a primary AWPer, but it seems too late into this half. Molotov out from beneath, but that's going to force Zeus forward. He doesn't care. He'll fight in the flames. Well worth that kill. Ethan follows up with one. Can he do more? No more pressure from Gambit at the moment. Zeus dropping a little smiley face.
Osier I want to watch again. He's still just going to be playing his own game at the moment, trying to get in behind, and actually got a couple of players up close. This could work out if Mo pushes into the crosshairs. Obviously, Cutler playing very close at this moment in time, but he may get a little bit shaken up by the fact that Dosia is making noise over on this other side. Adrian just going to be pushing in, doesn't change the angle. That's the bomb down. Mo very low on HP as well, so this flash could just be enough to give Cutler this kill. 11 HP. Pretty much doesn't have much of an opportunity to get back in. Molotov will go out, but there's only 20 seconds, and it's all on Dosia. He has actually sneaked all the way up the back at the moment, so this man has to try and do it alone. He's just missing shots. This time CLG will counter, and they do get a third on the board.
You could hear the crowd reaction just from Zeus getting one kill.
Yeah.
He's fighting in the flames. They really admire that. I mean, it's kind of, he obviously saw the trajectory and was just like, I'm more than happy to trade here. So seeing that there's someone below him and more than willing to fight in the fire, Kusta falls and Zeus ends up falling himself, but could have opened an opportunity for his team. Still 9-3, and we've seen CLG get reset every time they win a round. They lose the ensuing one. Like I said, though, they need to hold on to this round here. They need to hold on to this streak. They need to build off this if they want a chance. This is the biggest round of the half yet.
Yeah, this is where they need to break the trend as such. And while it is looking like Gambit may just be about to switch the pace up, smokes will be thrown in. Ethan is up close but left completely blind, and already they're pushing out. Adrian with the first kill, looking for more. There is Ricky on the side. He's got himself that AWP, and the push will come in, and he's able to at least trade things back. He's going to fall and try and retake with his team, but already they're going to be losing more and more players. Everybody being lost at once. Finesse, he does manage to back though, and actually drops the bomb. Ricky with another, so it's all on Hobbit, and they this time manage to hold.
Yeah, Finesse the hero that round. Ricky with a couple nice kills. Little bit of a confused defense, though. Ethan playing close up, getting aggressive towards that platform. No one else on his team is actually doing it with him, but it's Finesse who holds off with the three nice, making those plays as they try and swarm into the site. Ricky had been burning alive. You can see here, 2 frag leaders for each team. Ricky for CLG has shown up. Doja as well has been a monster.
And actually, considering Ricky's only actually had the AWP for a few rounds, he's actually out-AWPing Kusta at the moment.
Here's the nice thing. Because CLG wins that round, I mean, look, they have Tech 9s. This is a chance to actually turn this into a pretty serviceable half, although this is fast-paced. This has picked it up, and Doja again with the opening kill, but he can't get anything else. Ricky and Ethan, it looked dire for just a moment, but they seem to be stabilizing. Ricky just staying alive in Chicken Coop, and a Dren, he's got nowhere to go. He's surrounded. Oh, that's a nice shot, though, with the Tech 9 into a 1-on-2. Ricky's there to end it. So a 5th round for CLG. If they get up towards 6, all of a sudden this goes from being a disaster to now being very, very doable.
Yeah, reasonable half in the end. And, well, I don't think Gambit are going to be wanting to make that a reality. Obviously, they do a lot of damage considering the investment that they actually came into that round with, and they should be buying back up into this next round. Obviously, we are coming towards the end of this first half, and, well, 9-6 is the scoreline that CLG will definitely be aiming for. One more round to deal with, and at least they're going to have full economy, whereas actually, even with the investment into the last round, you look at the T side, without a bomb plant, they're suffering.
That's been a couple nice rounds for CLG to just stop them cold. Either way, overall, it was a great half for Gambit off the back of Doja's work. Ren is solo over towards the B bomb site just for the Tech 9, looking for any kind of push. It is that defensive Finesse and Cutler over towards A, boosted on the mid-ramp. Standard Halls control. We've seen this story played out a couple different times from Gambit, and most of it has involved actually Kusta with the AWP being here, just getting one kill and then being traded off. But for now, there's no success. Gambit finds no picks taking control of that portion of the map.
Yeah, this could be the ideal switch up, in fact. Just not allowing those early kills to go the way of Gambit, forcing them into these like sort of late round pushes, and they have actually been running out of time quite a bit, seeming to have to force the issue. This time they're going a little bit quicker, but Ethan's there to deny. Double kill for him, leaving just the long presence alone to try and get back into this site, and they haven't even spotted the boosted play yet. Kusta not even going to allow them to spot it. Eventually Zeus will get one. He is attempting to do something back here, 2 kills for himself, but he's left into a 1 versus 3. May at least get himself the bomb down, but obviously there's no value in this round. He's just trying to bait out some pushes, gets one more, but it will be the 6th on the board, and well, this half has been at least rescued somewhat by CLG.
Yeah, dominated early on by a couple good rounds from Doja. Hard resets of the CLG economy as well, kept them at bay, but CLG does recover in the end to at least give themselves a window of opportunity in the second half. When we return from the break, we'll see if they can seize it. CLG recovered in the first half, but they've still got a long way to go if they want to cause an upset here. This is one of Gambit's best maps, and we saw a lot of the reasons why in that first half. It's been a pretty quiet affair for the consistent star of CLG. Cutler and Kusta actually both not having too much of an impact, which we've seen earlier in the event. It's been Ricky leading the way for them, but on the other hand, Doja is really living up to his name of the sex god.
Yeah, he has been pounding his opposition, it has to be said. He's done a lot of work, especially over towards that A side, but at least in the last few rounds, you have to say it could have been a lot worse. We were looking at sort of a 9-3 scenario. They managed to string a few together, and, well, they've got themselves in a position where if they win the pistol over on that T side, they could be looking very good to actually push themselves forward.
Yeah, I mean, this is all it's gonna have to be a situation again where, I mean, the real damage was dealt to CLG by constantly resetting them every time they won. They're gonna have to do something like that in turn. Needing a hot start as well, a pistol round would be great for them here. You can see though, Finesse, the only one with utility on the T side. He's gonna watch for some kind of a B push, but really not moving towards that bomb site at all. It's coming down the stairs, going towards mid. Finesse with the utility is out towards long A. The only one there. The other 3, the core of this attack, going to come up danger stairs. And actually, I think Mo hears these footsteps. Yeah, he's going to fall away. He's going to get into a little bit of safety. You can start to see the rotations from the Gambit side as well, using that information to put themselves in better position.
T's definitely not dedicating in any such manner as of yet. And in fact, looking like they may just rotate away after pulling an extra player over towards this A site. This could work wonderfully. They're leaving Ricky in the same sort of stance that we saw Dosia in the previous half. Obviously, they still have plenty of time, but actually, looking at the map, there's now only Hobbit. Now, he will be able to spot and tell them to rotate relatively quickly, but at the same time, if he goes down, well, this could be a problem, but nice shot. Drops the bomb for at least a second, getting that first kill, and in fact, they're going to fall back again. Now, this is getting a little bit worrying because Ricky, yes, he's pushing up. He is able to get quite a bit of information, but there's still a player behind him. He doesn't know that there is one more, and Mo is going to pounce, finally getting himself into the action. Is going to be left alone, and, well, this is just getting ridiculous. They're going to go back once more, but look at the position of Hobbit. He's going to be waiting for this bomb. Catches out Finesse, looking for the kill onto Ethan, who will at least keep the dream alive. Cutler, in fact, getting himself one more, so maybe this madness will work out, but he needs to do so much. In fact, gets another. It's all onto Cutler. He's going to look for that vital kill, and reloading his bow eventually will finish, and that round was just absolute cluster. I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, how weird. It just seemed like CLG as a team didn't really know exactly what to do, but great positioning from individuals. I mean, every time they switched which bomb site they were going to, you know, first it was Ricky taking space that rotations were causing to come up that mid-ramp and get a pick, and then they go back towards the B bomb site where Cutler's found his way close to double doors. So even though they're losing and bleeding a couple players here and there, their players just have such good positionings to prevent Gambit from getting back to the appropriate bomb site. Actually works out in their favor. Risky, if that was kind of the planned idea, but good individual decision making.
We are going to see the peak coming out from Hobbit, but instantly taken down, and now it forces Zeus back over towards this A site. A lot of work to do. They've invested into a couple of AKs, some SMGs to boot, but they still have that range advantage. Scout onto Mo may have something to play, but I'm wondering if they're going to do the same as we saw in the previous round. After the aggression comes out from Finesse, they get that first pick on the A site, and now after rotations come in, they just look to fall back.
Not really choosing to commit anywhere, and again, Gambit leaning over towards that A bomb. So you have to remember as well, what we saw the other day against Hellraisers, CLG had a much better T side than they did a defensive side of things. Saw a lot of attention on Twitter during halftime to the effect of why are they playing Gambit on Cobble. So this would be an upset of massive proportions if they can come back in this. 7-9, starting to lean towards this B bomb site. Finesse is going to lead the way. Kusa gets the opening kill. There's a Dren, but he can only get one, and Ethan on platform with that AK-47 is surgical. Zeus has given up his position with a few missed shots. And CLG at the moment only losing one looked pretty good in this round.
A couple of tag players do give an opportunity for Zeus to find something, but nope, Ricky is going to continue his form at the top of the board and will deny any further damage. So 4 players surviving, as you said. They should be evening up this scoreline fairly comfortably, as there'll be little to be invested into the next round for this CT side. And, well, although it is fairly common for the CT side to be won at least by Gambit, in general, we're still looking at the sort of T side of this map.
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to shift a little bit outside of like the specialist teams on the maps. Like I know Duncan's always talked about when a team is a specialist on a map, they can usually, like you think someone like Navi or Virtus Pro and Train, they can grind out the T rounds. Well, if you're a specialist on Cobble, right, that means you start to have a very, very good defense. It's one of the few maps that consistently had a pretty big terrorist lean for some time at its start. This time it's CLG's turn to wander into a stack on an anti-eco. 5 players of Gambit at this B bomb site. Good chance for Kusta, the offer to gain some money. Doesn't get a single kill. There it is. Finally taps away at the head of Hobbit. Despite all 5 players being there, it's a very, very quick round from CLG. They decimate it. It's all tied up 9-9 going into the first gun.
Yeah, and they did it a lot more cleanly than we saw in the previous half. They managed to make a lot of money, don't lose anybody in those last couple of rounds, or maybe 1 or 2, but now they're going to go into the bye with a lot of money to play with over on that T side already.
Question is how much do they upgrade? How much do they invest into this? You can see 2 UMPs on Kusta and Finesse. Don't want to switch into the ops. Don't want to spend that kind of money just yet. This makes me kind of believe it is going to be a little bit more fast-paced. It almost seems like a contact play over towards the B bomb site. Smokes out for both sides. That one from Gambit slows things down. You can see CLG, they wanted to just kind of hit that bomb site, but it's at least going to force them to look back and make sure there's no pushes from the A site, and then they might change their mind from there.
Dosia playing in drop has picked up a UMP so he can get some extra utility on the board, but most of it has been expended, and there's still over 1:15 on the clock. So great opportunity now for them to just hit the site. And you can look at the other side of things. CLG have expended next to nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. They just wandered back. They just made sure no one pushed up, no one was cheating, and no one was getting the intel. Now it's come back towards B. Good read from Gambit, though. There's going to be 4 players here, essentially. Mo is still in the connector on his way over towards B.
Yeah, now the push coming in. Hobbit's going to be up close, and he's looking for the kills, but actually it's Adrian to get one for his team. Push back in from Ethan with another, and it's just going backwards and forwards at the moment. Mo doing the damage too through the gap in the smoke, and it is going to give them a chance in this round. And Kusta, well, he's still stuck with the UMP. Finesse trying to make his way back onto Plat, at least looking for that flank at the moment, but they're both pushing him from the same sort of angle, and neither, well, I say neither, now one has been spotted. Molotov going to go out onto the site. They do have a kid onto Mo as well, but not really making very much headway at the moment. They've got to try and get themselves forward, and Zeus is already so low on health, it has to be down to Mo, and really, the remaining players are just baiting out that timer, not really peeking at all, not giving away anything, and that is a wonderful hold from CLG.
Yeah, that is a very nice 2-on-2, not committing to any fight, knowing that the lack of utility, possibly the lack of kits because it's the 4th round, that all they had to do was play for the time, using the bomb as a 3rd teammate, and it works out very, very well. Even with the missed Molotov out of Finesse, but good entries, good trading from CLG as they enter into the site. Either way, Mo with that spam through the smoke almost turns that into a favorable position, but cleaned out. It's going to have to be another save for Gambit. So all of a sudden, CLG's taking control of the match. They finally get the lead that they've been looking for. They've completed that kind of comeback so that they're not just, it was so sketchy for a moment in that first half.
Oh yeah, with all the economy going the other way, we were sat at 9-3, and if I'm not mistaken, I think they've now taken the lead. So
yeah, they're up by 1.
They're on that T-side. They've even got to the point where Gambit are now can take themselves a tactical pause, and I do think it's necessary. And even with the sort of 4 players on the site there, the initial players, the ones that didn't rotate in, actually didn't do very much damage. It was Mo who got there a bit late that did the majority to actually bring them some hope in that round.
Yeah, I think Gambit only got 1 kill, but I mean, Hobbit got dropped pretty much immediately by Cutler coming off. I think they got caught out. I mean, that's one of those things where they just didn't, they had a setup where, Hobbit on B platform, once the utility was running out, once that smoke was dissipating and the hit was about to come in, he's trying to get back and readjust his position. He's just caught out in the open. So a little bit heartbreaking for Gambit as they lose that big lead that they had. At one point, I believe it was 8-2.
Yeah, they were looking very, very good at these sort of early stages in the first half. Now CLG, well, they have the lead on Gambit's best map by quite a margin.
Yeah, and this is just CLG setting up into a default, making sure there's not going to be anything tricky, trying to prevent any kind of pushes that would catch him off guard, although being caught off guard is, they've got to treat this like a gun round. This is so dangerous. 2 players stacked up towards the hay, 1 player to bait them in. They've got to use Molotovs. They've got to use utility. It doesn't look like they're going to. Aggression from Zeus. He's dropped by Kusta. Prepare for that. There's the Molotov. Hobbit's forced out in the open. Kusta holding the angle. That's beautiful. That's clinical from CLG. Those are mistakes in the past they might have made as a team, but not this time. Ricky as well, just got to clean things out.
Flawless.
Yeah, that was nice. CLG 11-9, starting to look good on this T side, getting rolling, building up money as well.
Yeah, not a single casualty in that round, and well, that means no money to be made either for the CTs, even though it may only be a pistol kill. Sometimes it can benefit you quite significantly. Obviously, I do think they have the maximum loss bonus coming up behind them at the moment, and they will get themselves a buy on the board. First time seeing an AWP into this half as well, with Mo able to get it in play, and Dosia, he's going to stick to his just to make sure he has full utility and a kit. Yeah,
that's all well and good. I mean, he's been the drop player, so you kind of need that much utility. You need the smoke Molotov. There's a peek, though. Hobbit gets 1, it's traded off. Got a lot of information and massive damage. 1 kill, and Ethan's dropped down to 5. So all told, it seems like a crazy play, but it gives Gambit a lot of room to work with. They slow down the pace of CLG, because again, you could see it almost seemed like it was going to be another contact play from CLG.
Yeah, that's something we actually saw as well versus Tyloo. Hobbit was very, very aggressive on that play. And when he gets confident, that's where things do get very, very scary. Now, at the moment, they have managed to counter him. They have managed to shut him down, but as you said, that's an awful lot of damage done early on. And once again, rotational play coming in from CLG.
Ooh,
and
miscommunication.
Oh, what? And also, Ethan gets that kill. This is a little bit sketchy at the moment from the CT side. A few mistakes coming in. There's also players right next to each other and drop. Dosia will win that battle, so at least taking down Ethan, but it is going to be this later A push. Zeus going further down, maybe caught in the open if he's not careful. Ricky will spot him out, and the push in the meantime from Finesse opens up, leaving it onto Mo. I think he will actually spot out one player in the form of Finesse and just waits for him to try and cross, but the smoke is going to deny him any visibility onto the site, and he has to try and rotate back, take a different angle, and I don't think they have any more nades, but look how low these remaining players currently are. Ricky is on 22 HP, Finesse is on next to nothing. Luckily for them, there's absolutely no utility to play with for this CT side, so there's no dunks. They're just going to have to wait and push back in, and while Finesse, this is a ballsy angle to take. Very, very close. Actually, Ricky's going to win the duel, and I think Finesse is now in behind. Dosia's absolutely unaware, and they're going to win it, even with low HP. Big round coming out from CLG.
Unreal. All the clutch situations being won by CLG. Extremely, extremely smart of them, by the way. Ethan with 5 HP, put him in drop, where he's not going to have to take any direct fights, and the timing may just work out in his favor. I think, actually, Adren probably still wins that fight if he wasn't shot by Mo. I think that little bit of distraction and confusion maybe just slips his focus for a half second, and Ethan wins that battle. But from there, with low HP and the 2-on-2, a very, very good win. And Gambit is just suffering at the moment. They cannot get a hold of this match.
That's a round they should have taken, and well, they're actually going to go straight back into the investment. Ethan starts off. That AWP is gone in a matter of seconds. Mo is down. Now Zeus is going to go for that snacks play, playing up close with that Mag 7. Cutler just waiting on the other side. It's looking like he's tempted to peek. Both players just playing a dance, and well, the shot hits, but Cutler still wins the duel.
You know, Zeus has got to be there like, why? How does it work for snacks so well? How does he do it?
Magic.
Either way, I mean, now Gambit's really losing the plot in this match. This is slipping away from them. 12-9. It's been a 10-1 run since it was 8-2 in the favor of Gambit. Adren with the AWP. I mean, this is not a great angle for an AWP. That's like a one and done, but he's got to get aggressive, at least push up and find some kind of information, hopefully a pick.
Well, just look how split this defense is at the moment. One in drop, one on plat, one over by the fence. And the thing is, he's got no support whatsoever. So he has to basically watch so many angles at once. You can see him just pivoting to try and find out something. He's already been spotted, and well, should be down in a matter of seconds. Cutler, in fact, going to wallbang and leaving, again, the two players completely isolated from the site. I think really in this situation, they should fall back and save, and if anything, maybe even take another pause.
Yeah, they might have to use it immediately. There's no utility here, obviously. Yeah, these guys are just going to have to save. No chance to get back into it. And that's just something where, I mean, they got spread out across the map. Everyone watching one thing, but no one having any kind of information of what's coming. I thought Adren was going to continue to push up just to gain that kind of information, but stopping at stables, he was just kind of left out in the cold. Ethan's on a hunt now to take guns away. There he spots one. It's Hobbit who misses the shot, but he does win out the fight in the end. The rest of CLG starting to stream forward towards the B bomb site to find what they can. Ricky, though, I think Doge is going to have him outplayed here. No, he's not. Misses the shots. 13-9. What a turnaround from CLG. What a comeback, and it's been dominating.
Yeah, it really is quite surprising. I suppose it is sort of part of your curse, though, isn't it? When you bet against those NA teams, just like they seem to come up trumps, and it is going to be another tactical pause.
I have a love-hate relationship with the NA teams at times, but I mean, listen, this is a very good performance, and the great thing about it is this isn't like some kind of crazy individual performance where someone is just running out and winning battles. This is, you know, doing all the right things, using your utility properly on the anti-ecos to clear out potential points of stacks, you know, areas where they've suffered in the past. This is, you know, slowing things down in the mid-round, playing a solid defensive, default game plan on the T side. And then even, you know, look in the clutches, no one's trying to make too many plays. Everyone's just kind of doing their job, setting up the good crossfires, having the good post plants.
Yeah, and it looks like they're prepared for this very matchup. They look like they know exactly what they're doing. And while on the other side of things, there's been quite a few mistakes actually coming out from Gambit with the duels they've been taking. And well, in this round at least, not going to be fully investing. They're waiting for that next round buy. Obviously, we know that they've got plenty of money coming in terms of the loss bonus. In this round, you can see the T side just waiting for any further aggression. They've been catching players out when they've been peeking over towards plat. That is one of the big problems that the CTs normally seem to have with Cobblestone, is just finding out that information.
Here's that default again out of CLG. 2 players, Cutler and Finesse, clearing out. Those 2 guys have played together for so very long. No surprise to see them working together. Zeus is going to be the first one up. He wins that with the CZ. He's actually going to push forward. He gets caught on the wall. That might actually be his demise. I thought he was going to push up and try and get that. But aggression everywhere. Doja's boosted up, although he does get traded off by Kusa. There to close the gap, but now he's got to be careful. One close to the left. Is Kusa going to clear it all the way? No, there's no way he suspects this. A little bit of a fake thrown out, but Hobbit's going to have the intel. It's not happening. Unfortunately, his teammates are dropping over towards the A bomb site, so all he can do is have a quick flank.
Once again, it's going to be the same attempted spot. A little bit further back, in fact, this time. Over towards those cannons will be Adrian. Now, this again, it's sort of a one and done. The likelihood of him getting away with too much is going to be slim. There is a flank, however, coming in at the moment. And that push has gone all the way through. Adrian has to find something. He's completely blind. Cutler will spot. He gets the one. Now, Finesse is actually very low on HP. The problem is they may just walk past each other. Hobbit is literally right next to him. He gets one onto the bomb planter, and now the HP so low, he's actually going to go for the nade over towards Long. Not quite. It's gone too far. And that's just going to be waiting up close. Hobbit has absolutely no idea. He's got to play this perfectly, though, and running across the side. Hits the shot. Finesse does the work, plays it calmly, and that's another in this streak from CLG.
That is disgusting. All the clutches going their way, and Hobbit maybe just a second late. I mean, a little bit lucky on the CLG side. I think that bomb gets planted right before he dies. If that bomb goes down there, Hobbit likely wins that round. He has all the advantages with the timer going low. But Finesse with low HP, playing patiently in the corner, finds the kill. His T side. Is Gambit even, I don't think they've even won a round, have they? They've gotten blanked on their CT side.
Yeah, they won the first half 9-6.
That's unreal.
Yeah, known for being able to win their CT side. And now they've actually just got to try and win a round on their CT side.
Well, op out again in Mo's hands. They've tried everything now. That last round was just overwhelming aggression from Gambit. Boosted up, pushing everywhere. Gets them a couple kills, but they just can't win it out in the end. CLG eventually does sustained. Here's a little bit of a duel. Is there going to be a flash, or is Kusa just going to peek it? He's just going to peek it. He loses that. Nice angle from Mo, and he falls all the way back. So first time in a long time you have something good to talk about with Gambit in these CT rounds.
Yeah, they have been pretty much down a man almost every single time. All the aggression has been countered perfectly by CLG. So now let's see if they can do anything back. Instantly responding, though. 2 kills onto this defensive A. And the remaining players once more are going to be isolated. Dosia just jumping back down, but he's caught in between. The Molotov may just survive. The flames will not spread. And now he actually has a decent position. Actually going to have to push out of it, though. Finesse takes down Adrian. Now it is on Dosia. Finds one, but it's instantly traded back, leaving just Hobbit. And he's got 3 players to find. They need to make some mistakes if he's going to have any chance in this round. Looks for one. Finesse with 3 in this round. In-game leader, but also fragging well. All
smiles on the CLG side. And actually, I mean, that's unfortunate because actually Gambit had chances in that round. I mean, that one fight out towards Long, you felt like Zeus had that on Cutler, and then Adren in the balcony missed a couple of shots uncharacteristically. And CLG, they're not missing anything at the moment. That's the thing. Gambit's giving them just that second or two to get into the game, and they're seizing it. And now it's, this is so close to being over. It's obviously 15 rounds for CLG. It's been 9 straight on this T side for them. 3 shotguns on the board for Gambit. Nothing's worked. That's got to be so frustrating if you're one of the Gambit players.
1 round away from not only losing their record, but being knocked out of the tournament.
Think of this as well, Virtus Pro and Katowice. I mean, both these teams, you could call it home turf for Gambit, playing on their best maps against teams that were their overwhelming favorites and not looking good and about to be losing this. It's 15-9. Adren gets one with the shotgun. But how much can they take from that?
Mag 7 does its job. Zeus is going to be up close as well. He has himself another Mag 7. They actually bought 3 going into this round, so the range, at least at the start, was heavily benefiting. Now, double ops on the T side really suggests that they were expecting a little bit more aggression, and more Hobbit will spot out a couple more players, knowing there's still heavy presence over towards this plat. The problem is the bomb is not dedicated in that direction whatsoever. It's only Mo on A. If he goes down, well, they're going to have free roam of the A site, and that's been a big problem at the moment for this CT side. Adrian spotting or peek from Ricky may actually suggest that this is going to be a push. And you can see they're still just holding 3 players over towards this site. Spotting a little bit more will be Ethan, but he actually gets dropped low. Adrian with another, and now we are going to see Ricky pushing back in. Mo has to do something here, and he does. He drops the bomb. This gives them a great opportunity in this round. There's only 20 seconds left, and it may just be that CLG have overplayed their hand a little bit going into this round. Kusta, however, with a nice flick, will be able to get one more, but they're just backing out. They know that he's only got seconds to spare, and Gambit finally get around on the board.
Yeah, that's huge. The first CT round, and you have to say, CLG switching into a double op. They've never used it this whole half when they've had success. Why are you switching to it now when the game's on hand? And now they've also given over a free AWP to Gambit. Crowds back into it. All things considered, with how dominant of a half it's been for CLG, I mean, Gambit's not too far away. 5 rounds. This is one reset of the economy, and Gambit can force overtime. So CLG still not out of it just yet. It would just be crushing if they were to drop this one, wouldn't it?
That would literally be the most NA thing I think ever done in history if they managed to throw this one away after such an incredible streak. That's the first round they've actually lost on this T side, and well, we'll see if it's going to be their last. As you said, they've given over an AWP. In fact, given over 2 to Gambit. Now, this is where things will get a little bit interesting, because it's not really the best strategy on the CT side, but it may be surprising.
Yeah, and why not just go for it? I mean, you've lost every other round. The one
Nothing
thing you've never had money to try is a double op setup. Dren's no slouch with it either, so it is going to be dangerous. Mo's got one over at the double doors towards A. Dren with the other one is in the chicken coop at the B bomb site, and there's no one from CLG with control at B. This is just going to be a full A execute. They haven't gained any control, and that's the dicey thing, because like you can never know at this point if you're CLG if Gambit's pushing up. Nice flashbang is going to force Zeus back. No one's really even rotated from the B bomb site. You can see CLG, this is just systematic A Hall's control.
Able to get it with pretty much just one flashbang, so not really too much lost just yet. They still have the same setup, no rotation yet coming in from this CT side. They are going to throw out a little bit of utility, but it won't achieve anything. May just slow down a little bit. 40 seconds left or coming up on the clock. And Mo is just playing patient at the moment. Not going to go for anything audacious. Waits, but he actually gets smoked out. And now, well, this is where the push is going to be coming in. Zeus actually going to throw out a smoke of his own, just denying them any further premise. And we will actually see Mo get one with the AWP. They're getting stuck in their tracks a little bit here. Ricky trying to get through, but it's actually Zeus missing the shots. Can't spot him out. Both players just sort of having a dance of death at the moment. Neither able to find the kill, but it will be Cutler and Finesse bringing things back. We're into a 2 versus 2, and it's double orbs to retake, but nice shot from Adrian will give them that opportunity. And another from Mo. The AWPs pay off. 15-11.
Start to feel it. Nice play from, I mean, that was an ugly fight between Zeus and Ricky, but that smoke is just delaying anyone from getting in. That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful.
That is art.
Just a standard execute, and it took a little bit of time to come to fruition. That's what allowed Mo to essentially, I mean, he was smoked out at doors. That's what allowed him to readdress and get over towards the hole and be mobile with that AWP. The double ops coming out very, very nicely. CLG 5 AK-47s now. Money likely starting to dwindle. They've still got 4 rounds to play with. That hit just took so long. Enough delaying was done by Gambit that the rotations could come in.
A smoke from Zeus as well seemed to just cause absolute pain for them. They didn't know how to really get onto the site and ended up just running through it. Like, he doesn't kill anyone in that circumstance, but it's still just that smoke delayed them so much. This time, he's just going to use it to try and deny their presence over towards these halls. Cutler is going to go peeking. Zeus doesn't want to be going down in this scenario, as it will give them that opening pick. And, well, CLG, I was going to say, have been working well with the picks, but they've been working well in every round up until the last 2.
Yeah, and those Zeus goes down. Look at all the damage he's done. I mean, Cutler and Ricky below 50, Kusta and Finesse right around 60. So, I mean, at least the damage is there for Zeus. His teammates can help clean up, and I doubt with 1 kill at the A bomb site, is CLG going to expect Doja to be here. Pushed up close, hiding in the corner. Mo again in that same position at double doors with the AWP, and CLG, they still have 3 players over towards the B bomb site, including the bomb. This time, Adren's not in chicken coop. He's out in the open a little bit more at the statue. It looks like it's going to be an A split, actually. Come down, drop, jump through the window, but Hobbit's there at the off angle. Finesse, he's the next one up, and he falls as well. Great play from the young man. 3 kills for him. He holds it perfectly. Cutler's made his way up, but his teammates have died, and the bomb is down. 20 seconds left. This round is Gambit's.
Yeah, the likelihood is they're going to be trying to take over this A site, but they don't have anything to plant on it. They can Molotov all the positions out that they like, but it's just not happening in this round. The bomb is in a horrible position, and yeah, this round has been won by Hobbit and Hobbit alone.
Now the pressure, I mean, it actually feels like the pressure has shifted over to CLG. Gambit gaining momentum, surviving with 3 people, building up some bank, but also survive. I mean, they're not getting picked off anymore. They're not just losing. It doesn't seem so futile for them anymore.
It's almost if the 3 points are now sat on the Gambit side. Like just the momentum has just switched instantly. Like they didn't have a single round and have now strung the last few together. Hobbit doing very, very well in this situation, but there's only 3 rounds of difference now. I'm waiting to see what sort of investment will actually come in here for this T side. And I think the fragging really does say it all at the moment. Like there really isn't that much of a drop between Ricky and FNS. They have been just all the way across the board, everybody having their moments.
Yeah, Cutler playing well also. I mean, Kusa's been a little bit quiet, but you know, the other players on the CLG side have really, really stepped it up. Finesse has had some very high impact plays. The op battle going in the way of Ricky just the few times, he even used it for like the first quarter of the match.
Will be a buy though. So CLG still with the money at the moment. Mo going to be going for the pick, can't quite find Kusta. Again, it is actually Ricky picking up the AWP, so clearly just off feel at the moment that he wants to be trying to fight this back. Double AWP still remains over on that CT side, but they should know this by now. It has been spotted multiple times.
Yeah, they haven't gone really towards this B bomb site in quite some time. This time they're going to readdress. Last time, I mean, they've been hitting A. They tried to drop towards A, and they got slaughtered by Hobbit. You could see Gambit, they're used to this A hit, so they have the lean towards the A bomb site. This is, CLG have set up pretty nicely for this. That nade is huge. Softens everybody up. Here comes the execute. That Molotov, though, going to slow things down by a few seconds for the rest of the A defense to come over. Still not out, coming out of drop, coming through the smoke. That's Cutler leading the way. He falls, Ethan trades it off. He's got to do more. Zeus is here with an instant kill. Dren with the AWP, peering up towards platform. He looks away, and Ricky finds the pick. Down into a 3-on-3, and Hobbit, is he going to try and make a play? This could be too much. Smoke's clearing. He finds one, and there's Zeus getting the planter as well. Ricky cannot cover his teammates, and the op kill is there. 1-on-2 situation for Ricky.
He's got a lot of work to do, but he has been the man to do it so far. Actually going to go for the jump onto the tree. This may not be expected. Hobbit just around the angle, but catches him anyway. A 13th round on the board as the comeback continues. And now, well, things start to get dicey for CLG.
That round was on a knife's edge. That could have turned in CLG's favor so quickly. And Zeus and Hobbit, actually. Gambit just barely holds on to it. But the crowd's into it now. And those soundproof booths do not help that much.
Still looking nervous. Gambit not wanting to go out of this tournament.
Yeah, but look at this. It's Tech 9s. Finally, there's no more buys for the CLG side. The losing bonus is built up, so they have a small investment on the CLG side. Maybe some kind of magic can happen, but essentially what they're saying is we have to win on the last round at 15-14.
Seen it before, but this time Mo is just going to be lining them up. Already taking the first, second, doing damage to a third, and it is just all Mo this round. They're not getting anywhere near that site. Zeus looking to find himself a kill and gets one, leaving Cutler in a 1 versus 4. There should be no hope for him in this round. Just wanting to try and do some damage. Does actually get himself a second, but that is it. Hobbit will bring it to 15-14. Gambit are 1 round away from taking this to OT. A
game of momentum. It's shifted back and forth, and it seems like now CLG, they can do nothing right. They can't win any of these initial fights anymore. This double op set up on the Gambit side has really slowed things down, and Mo has come alive. Beautiful shots from him here this round.
Now, the funny thing is as well, that double up was given
it was gifted
to Gambit by the purchase of 2 on that T side. The switch up that doesn't work.
We mentioned at the time, right? That double up on the T side was something that had never been done in the 9 straight rounds that CLG won on the Ts, or as Ts. So now when it goes over, it's almost like, why did you switch that up? You've given them a very, very strong weapon to play with.
Booster board in over towards Plat, waiting for any aggression. The other thing that Gambit have changed up quite a bit, they were going for a lot more aggression. Now it is sort of just positions where they can easily escape from. Once again, Mo is going to be set up with this AWP. Flashbang going to come over, goes for the timing shot, but he should be able to fall back without any real trouble. So will leave Halls taken, but he's going to keep his life.
Yeah, last time CLG tried to push that back, or they didn't even try and push it back. It was just Kusa with the AWP taking the fight, and he lost it. So this time, at least, they get him away without losing any HP. Zeus isn't there, spamming through the smoke and nading them down low. Still 3 defenders at this B bomb site. Good utility, though, from the CLG side, and it looks like they're going to set up for an execute. 2 players still over A for the Gambit side of things. Here come the smokes. It is Adren still with the op at Statue. Molotovs as well. Although none over at the B bomb site to slow this down if it comes in.
Going to be the setup, but the bomb actually looking, and look at the spot from Zeus. He's actually going all the way around the back already as they look to try and make themselves out. He could actually drop the bomb, but in fact, Finesse still wins that duel, and it's Ethan doing the damage, and now they're going to be able to push back towards this A site. Ethan having a big round for his team, gets himself 3 kills. He may have just done enough to take this over the line for CLG. It's Adrian versus 3. He's got to try and find something, needs to maybe get something on the cross, do some damage before they get into their after-plant positions. It is going to have to be mistakes once again, but it's all onto Adrian with this AWP. And at the moment, there isn't anybody peeking. They now know where he is. Finesse has spotted him out, and Ricky will end it. CLG will end the win streak of Gambit, and not only that, they'll knock them out of the tournament.
Yeah, Gambit eliminated. Stunning. We said this was going to be a massive upset. That round, Ethan shows his quality. That is brilliant. And Zeus feels like he has the advantage. Zeus on the flank feels like he's going to make something happen, and actually because he's flanking so much, everyone rotates away from that B bomb site or A bomb site heading over towards B. And once Zeus falls, Ethan's in perfect position to capitalize on the rotations back. But this is stunning. At halftime, Kerrigan tweeted out, if you're going to play Gambit on Cobble, you have to be beast on it. And at least today, CLG's T side was a nightmare for Gambit.
Yeah, I think the last few rounds may have taken away a little bit to what we saw before, but you have to remember they won 9 rounds CT side with no response whatsoever. A very, very impressive performance on the T side, and only really stumped by the fact that they gave over some double AWPs.
Yeah, that was the kind of the one tactic. That was that last hurdle that they had to cross. Was how do we get past this double AWP setup, and eventually they did it. This team looking good. Ricky leading the way as well. The new acquisition from Renegades having a high impact in this game. I mean, you have to say as well, Finesse and Cutler, the veterans of the squad, were stellar here.
Well, it was one of those sort of like win conditions like that was spoken about on the desk. The one thing that really needed to happen was the fact that it can't just be Kusta. And if anything in this game, it wasn't Kusta. Like he was there, but he wasn't sort of having his star performance. It was actually everybody else having their moments. Like Finesse really did have some very important rounds, like the 1v1 where he was low HP, played it smart. There were so many positions that you can highlight other people, like Ricky as well with the AWP was very impressive.
You can criticize Finesse's play at times, like in the history of CSGO, if you want. But one thing he's always been very good at is making plays once they're like in the area of the bomb site, getting the bomb planted, the post plants. He's always been very, very smart in how he plays those kind of situations, and he showed it again today. When they needed 1 kill to get into the bomb site, he was the one to find it. When they needed a kill in the post plant, he found so many. It was phenomenal performance from CLG. A lot of it was tactical. Not missing a step. Boys at the desk, how's that upset taste?